Good morning, everyone. Grace and peace. My name is Paul Dazet. I'm pastor at Sandy Hook United Methodist Church. It's good to be with you for this Wednesday update. I have a devotion for you and then a lot of announcements, a lot of good stuff. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I know that's tomorrow, but hey, who doesn't want some turkey, right? Doesn't that look good? Today is this big Thanksgiving outreach that More Than a Meal with Sarah Humphrey are doing. So today, at the church, there's going to be a lot of cooking, a lot of packing, a lot of delivering of food to people who are hungry and need this Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and reach out to people around you and make sure they're okay during this season. All right, devotion. Um, this week, I was reminded of a passage in Exodus of the story of the Israelites enslaved in Egypt. And I'm going to read it to you. It's chapter 2 of Exodus, starting at verse 33 to the end of the chapter, 33 to 35. During that long period, the king of Egypt died. The Israelites groaned in their slavery and cried out, and their cry for help because of their slavery went up to God. God heard their groaning and remembered his covenant with Abraham and Isaac and with Jacob. So God looked on the Israelites and was concerned about them. So the Israelites are enslaved. They are dehumanized. They are treated like animals. They are worked nonstop 24/7, 365. This goes on for 400 years in Egypt. And generation after generation after generation is enslaved and treated like animals. That's all they know to do is work, work, work. When they get to the end of themselves and they can't figure a way out, they cry out to God. They groan and plead and cry out to God, God being the answer to their situation, and God hears their cries. I find it encouraging that God hears the cries of hurting people, don't you? I'm not sure where you're at today in this in your journey during these holiday seasons, whether you're in a good place or whether you are crying out. I just want you to know that God hears the cries of hurting people. So God, in his infinite wisdom, decides to intervene into the lives of these enslaved people to bring about a rescue, an exodus from Egypt, and he uses a person. And we know that person to be Moses. And that's the way that God works. He comes in rescue and he shows up through the hands and the feet of individuals. That God needs a body and inhabits and embodies a person or group of people or a church or individuals to bring about a rescue, to be the ones that meet the needs of people. So God intervenes, but he uses people. God hears the cries of hurting people, and God uses people to bring about a rescue. Now, there's a couple layers here that I think is significant. Number one is that God hears our cries when we cry out to him, but it has to be this idea that we can't solve this issue ourselves, so we cry out to God in our desperation, because I believe that's what the heart of their cry is that they can't fix their situation. And oftentimes we kind of trying to solve it ourselves, and we get to the end of ourselves and we cry out to God, and God hears our cries and he intervenes, right? The second layer is that we, as people who follow this God, who follow in the footsteps of Jesus, also need to be listening for the cries of hurting people. Need to be listening for the cries of hurting people, and then figure out how God is leading us to bring about a rescue. So again, coming back to this Thanksgiving outreach, is that Sarah Humphrey was hearing the cries of these hurting people, and God used her, embodied her, and now a big group of people from this church and other churches to bring about a rescue during this holiday season, during this Thanksgiving season, to provide food for people who are hungry. And so God hears your cries. And then also, God desires for us to be listeners for the cries of others, and then intervene on God's behalf as God leads. Anyway, that's a devotion. If you're going through a rough time, cry out to the God. God always shows up in the midst of desperation. God always shows up when there seems to be death and there's no way out. God is the God who enters into history. He enters into our history. He enters into our lives to bring about rescue. Anyway, that's what I got. So let's move over to some announcements. Again, just a reminder of the Thanksgiving outreach taking place today. If you want to help, stop on by the church this afternoon, and I'm sure Sarah and her team will find a place for you to jump in. This coming Sunday is the beginning of Advent. Our sermon series is called Presence. Not like presents and gifts, but presence as being with one another, or God being with us, God with us, presence. We desire presence, God's presence, presence amongst ourselves. And that'll be the theme that is interwoven. We have skits, we have the Advent wreath lighting with the candles, we have special music throughout Advent. It's going to be a great season. We also have the giving tree that takes place here at Sandy Hook. We have a tree in the narthex in which each week there's a different item or ministry that we support by providing items. This coming Sunday is Hands and Feet Ministry. And we've had gift tags where you can pull off and find an item for a person. The tag will have the information. You buy the item for that tag and you bring that in and put it under the tree. So Hands and Feet is this coming Sunday. So if you got one of those tags, bring in that item this Sunday and place it under the tree or the boxes around the tree in the narthex. December 5th is Fireman's Toy Drive. Only new toys, puzzles, and books. December 12th is REC, Residents Encounter Christ, gift cards for the correction officers this year, Target, Kroger, Walmart. December 19th, Salvation Army, canned and packaged protein, tuna and chicken, peanut butter, craft gift cards for the children's program, Joann's, Walmart, or Hobby Lobby. And then on Christmas Eve, every year we take up a special offering for Jesus's birthday, and that is given to a ministry to help people. So that's the giving tree. We do this because we believe that God is bringing about his kingdom here in Columbus as it is in heaven, and we want to be his hands and feet because we're hearing the cries of hurting people. I'm teaching a Bible study in January on the book of Revelation. I know, scary, right? It's going to be Wednesday nights. It's going to be multiple weeks, maybe 14, 16, 18. Quite haven't figured it out. On Wednesday nights from 6:30 to 7:30. It'll take place in the sanctuary. It'll also be broadcast on Facebook and YouTube. There's a way to register. You can contact the office here at Sandy Hook and let them know that, let Judy know that you would like to participate. And then also there is in the newsletter, there's a button you can click and it'll take you to a form to fill out. And so please register so we know how many handouts to print for you that are attending the Book of Revelation Bible study. There'll be more information in December and early January about what this Bible study is all about because it's different. And then I'll give you some information as we get closer. The nursery is open during both services and Sunday school hour for children, birth through 3 years old. And we have a new employee working in the nursery. Her name is Kat. She's awesome. So please make sure to stop by and say hello. Operation Christmas Child, we packed 64 boxes and they were delivered this past week. So thank you, Sandy Hook, for reaching out, hearing the cries of hurting children and reaching out in love. And then the women's ministry, UMW, will meet on Tuesday, December 7th at 11 a.m. here at Sandy Hook at the fellowship room by the kitchen. Refreshments will not be served, but ladies can bring a brown bag lunch or snack if so desired. The program will be a speaker from Centerstone, and the Turning Point donation is a cash donation. Questions, please contact Helen. Her contact information is in the newsletter. Let's see, the new intersection journals for this new year that begins this Sunday will be available for pickup this Sunday. So super excited about that. I always love a new journal. And so make sure to pick yours up and start this new year. Don't forget, this Sunday is the beginning of a new year, so I will be saying Happy New Year. Pick yours up this coming Sunday. Also, we have Advent devotions. We have this devotion guide that has devotions for every day in Advent, and they will be available at the table where the intersections are, as well as in the Welcome Center, maybe even on the railing there in the sanctuary. So please make sure to pick up one of these devotions for Advent season. I think that's it. I'm sure I'm missing something, but happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Grace and peace to you. I hope you have an amazing time with friends and family. And don't forget the meaning of the devotion today. If you're hurting today, cry out to the Lord because he'll intervene. And then also let us listen to the cries of hurting people, and let's do our part to be God's hands and feet as he brings his kingdom here in Columbus as it is in heaven. Hey, grace and peace, everyone. Take care. Again, happy Thanksgiving.